damn shoulder. Oof. Ooh, I still feel a bit shit. I should get back into bed.
A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer.
True, Sir Radzik. If I'd have had it like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently.
Where's my fucking sword?
And I found it. Everything I take now will be mine, and I plan to take everything.
Rotted hell! Ugh.
Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
Stronger dog fucks the bitches, and war is a nasty business.
Where's my fucking sword?
You know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you!
Yeah!
Don't disappoint me.
Wake up, Henry. It's past sunrise.
Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Bad dreams. You must be Pavlena, right?
That's right. I came in the evening while you were asleep. Ma told me what happened to you. Then I helped Ma take care of your friend that night?
Oh, Hans? He's alive. How is he?
Have no fear. He's alive, all right. Maybe too alive. Ma knows what she's doing, and that's the truth. I reckon she could bring the dead back to life. She said she dosed you with the strongest remedies she knows, and it looks like they did the trick. On that other fella for sure. Since he came to this morning, he hasn't stopped talking.
Yeah, that sounds like him, all right.
And what about you? How do you feel?
I feel like I got thrown by a horse, and then stampeded by a herd of cattle.
Is it really that bad?
More or less. Although the fact that I'm hurting all over means I'm alive. So I reckon it's all good. Considering.
That's surely the healthy way of looking at it. But I heard you yelling in your sleep and went to check on you. Bad dreams?
I dreamt of Istvan Toth, a villainous, murderous whoreson who stole my sword. The last memento I had of my father, and I swore to get that sword back and avenge my parents.
Oh, That oath must be serious if it even torments you in your sleep. Dreams shouldn't be taken lightly. They can have real meaning, however hard they are to understand. What strikes you as the most important part of your dream?
I dreamt of terrible things. Flames, violence, war. And then the glittering silver and scallops turned into the surface of a lake. And from the lake emerged a naked, supernaturally beautiful girl. She took me into her arms and carried me away from everything to her own island. And there, she saved my life.
Well now, that probably means you're lonely and seeking company. Fortunately, you can join ours. Breakfast is on the table, and I've got something else for you too. Come along, and we must save Ma from the clutches of his lordship.
Look who's finally up! Henry! Come and join us! Good morning, Henry! You have no idea how glad I am to see you. Come join our banquet in the midst of these exquisite woods.
I'm glad to see you too. I see you're in a surprisingly good mood for someone who was at death's door yesterday.
It's all the more cause for merrymaking! Even this water now tastes like the finest wine.
Of course, I did bring it all the way from the spring.
And for that, I am in your debt, fair maid. And I'm grateful to you too, Henry. Bojena told me what happened here yesterday. That's the third time you've saved my life. I suppose I'll have to give you some estate or something.
The third time? What in God's name happened the first 2 times?
Now, Henry, don't make her beg. Tell this good maiden of your heroic deeds.
Well, there was this time when me and Hans had some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
And made it mad. And when Hans chased after the wounded animal, he got caught by a human patrol.
Humans?
You haven't come across them? They're savages from the Hungarian lands. The core of Sigismund's army. Who knows what heathen gods they pray to? They hold nothing sacred. They pillage, rape, and murder. They razed my hometown of Skalitz to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
I told you about them, though. The fellas in the tavern in Zheleyov were saying there's some foreigners like that camping in the rocks down by the pond.
What?
It's just what I heard.
Whoa, that's all we need. I hope they don't turn up here. What could us two do alone against them?
What could they want from us? But if they did come here to rob us, I'd shoot enough arrows into them to make them think twice. But the thing I want to know is, how did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Well, as I said, they took him captive.
Well, there must have been 10 of them. I hadn't a chance.
You must have been seeing double. As I recall, there were 2.
That just proves how well you can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth and had bows and armor. It might as well have been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I managed to free Sir Hans.
Why the modesty? You got them. Maybe a stroke of luck, but as we know, audentes.
Fortuna juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
It's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favors the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. Your pebbles. So I'll save myself a few groschen.
Ah, but you never gave me anything for Talmberg.
For Townburg? What was that about then?
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Talmberg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat! He got shot in the backside!
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
True enough. Hey, how did you manage to get the best of that cutthroat the other night when you hauled me here?
To be honest, by a stroke of luck. We were fighting outside, but that fucker got a hold of his falchion and let me have it in the guts. I thought I was done for. But I groped around and found a pail and whacked him with it with the last of my strength. And luckily I hit him a nice crack right on the noggin. Can't remember a thing after that.
My word. Fortune really does favour you. You chose your motto well.
Once we get back to Ratai, I'll have it inscribed on my shield.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things. But I'm afraid we don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Trotsky as soon as we can. How far is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zheleov, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you, for your journey.
Oh, Bozhena, I don't know how to thank you for all this.
Ah, but I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that axe and spade. We can't manage without them.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done, Bozhena.
I have something for you, Henry. Ma had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see. It's not all that hard to brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlana. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right. We're very glad we met you. And we're obliged to you for your help and hospitality. God bless you.
And you too, sirs.
As Henry says, may God bless you for your generosity and your healing arts. And you have rightfully earned the gratitude of the House of Lipa for all time. If you should ever find yourself in need, the doors of Perkstein shall always be open to you.
Thank you, sir. Though, I'm not sure I could find the way to Perkstein. Hopefully we'll never need to take up your offer. Sorry for coming late, Ma. I got held up in Troskowitz.
Of all places. And it's not the first time.
I know. I was going past and I thought I'd try to sell some baskets and ointments there. And I succeeded.
Emmerich won't be happy.
Then he shouldn't sell so dear.
Nothing against the hospitality of the good women folk here, but I want to get to Trotsky Castle right away.
Next time you'll come straight home, so you're not on your own so much. If anyone comes here
Hold on a bit.
I'll put them in their
Before we hit the road, there's something you should know. I have a hunch that one of that band that ambushed us at the pond was Istvan Toth.
Toth? Are you yanking my pizzle? He's long since over the hills and far away.
I know how it sounds, but I saw him. Believe me. I'd never mistake his ugly face after all that happened.
Of course, Henry. I know you have accounts to settle with him, but that's nonsense. Toth is in Sigismund's service and is harassing his opponents. And Otto von Bergov is one of Sigismund's allies. So Toth's hardly going to attack his people. It was dark. God knows what you saw.
I saw him, the bastard, and I'll get him.
Yes. We'll surely get him one day. I promise you. And your sword, too. But I don't think either of them are around here. You're still my protector, though. So you need a weapon right away. Here you go. You never know.
Where'd you get it?
I found it in the dung pile. Must have belonged to the fellow I brawled with that night we got here. Come on, let's get going. Your mind will turn to better things along the way.
Oh, I hope they've got a good physician at this castle. Or at least a barber. I mean, that old crone got me on my feet. But I don't believe much in herbal remedies. You can't beat an educated man of medicine. And I can't wait to sleep in a proper bed. And some wine!
Oh.
Open up! I bear an urgent message for your liege lord. gate! I am a messenger from Sir Hanush of Lipa! Fucking shit! Fuck! You fucking cunts! Do you know who I am? No, we fucking don't! I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, heir to Ratai! Now, look here, you filthy beggar! I'm not here for your amusement, so get your stinking, ragged asses out of here on the double. The pair of you!
What's all this about? Why don't you send those beggars packing?
I did, sir. They say they're messengers. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. Envoy...
I heard. Nevertheless, I doubt Sir Hanush would send two vagabonds covered in excrement as emissaries. Apart from which, Sir Hans Capon is dead. We found his body by the pond. His company was ambushed by outlaws, and they were slaughtered to the last man.
Yes, yes, they ambushed us, but we managed to get away.
Sir, we met your Captain Thomas on our way. He can testify to who we are. He saw our message and its seal.
How terribly unfortunate you are. The captain's company was also ambushed by outlaws. The captain barely escaped with his life and has been delirious for 3 days. And even if he did confirm your story, I am under strict orders to admit no strangers to the castle.
Sir, there's a horseman approaching in King Sigismund's colours.
Ah, now that's what a messenger looks like. Count yourselves lucky that I don't have time to waste on you. Be gone!
I'm getting in, whether you like it or not.
Your shitty hands off me! No, wait. Wait, one moment!
What the fuck was that?
So now what?
There's only one thing we can do.
Have you two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Well, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? Oh, I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
The first thing we have to do is get ourselves into decent shape. Have a good scrub, get some better clothes. Then they might believe we're actually messengers.
That's all very well, except we can't even pay our bill here. Never mind a visit to the baths and the tailor.
So we'll earn some.
Earn?
I'm not afraid of work. And we're gonna need every groschen we can get.
And how long will it take for you to earn a few groschen? And where will you find a decent tailor? Before we get ourselves sorted out, Sigismund will be sitting on the throne in Prague.
So what do you suggest? Going back to Ratai?
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
Innkeeper, what's taking so long?
I suppose you're right. We'd be taken for total idiots.
Well, you could shrug that off. But me, we've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas, instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
We'll go back and bury them as soon as we can.
Yeah, as soon as possible. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Bajena's. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food. About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers. What is it? That's that woman from the pond. Or the one you gave us away for?
I bear that witch. Wench!
What I tell you? What are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her.
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word, that's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before. Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Catherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, that's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here.
You're the one from that pond.
Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here, go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
Aye,
Tired
health,
from
lads.
talk about
That's the most important thing.
Oh?
Enjoy yours.
What was that?
Daddy's wounded.
Oh, hi. Poor Captain Thomas had never back on his feet. Him and his men were attacked by bandits. Most of them are dead. Jesus Christ! Lord von Berghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Aha! So that's why they sent you for the wine. Wait a moment then. I'll be right back.
That must hurt, don't it? A bit. At least at first.
Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
Oh, eh? I don't remember. Hold on. Are you the boy that cleans the pit under the castle shitting hole?
You were attacked by those bandits.
What bandits? What are you on about?
We saved you. Me and my lord there. Surely you couldn't forget.
I have no idea what you're on about. I work at the castle, and I wasn't at any pond.
What are you playing at, woman? We were attacked by bandits. They killed a lot of people and groped you. If it wasn't for me...
Then what? I'm telling you, I wasn't at any pond. Blimey! I've had lots of men try to woo me with tall stories, but this is the most pathetic attempt yet.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Look, please. I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the King's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Oh, shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samin's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again!
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
We divided up fairly. But that toe rag only gave me the innards. What do you expect? He's a poacher.
Why are you standing here like a pillar of salt? Are you ready?
Everyone knows about him.
What for?
To get to work. You pair ordered a lot more than you paid for, so you'll work your debt off, like I said.
All right. What do you want us to do?
Over there by the gate, there's a cart with sacks of flour from the mill. My old man was meant to take them into the house. But as soon as he got a sniff of work, he vanished into thin air. The second door in there leads to the pantry. That's why I need you to haul the sacks. You have to lay each sack on the planks, so they don't touch the damp floor and go moldy. If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. So do it properly. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy, and then we'll be quits.
All right, we'll do it. Carrying a few sacks won't kill us. For sure, it's less daunting work than fighting bandits in the woods.
Aye, it's terrible about them bandits. We never had nothing like that here before. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so I'm putting you to work. Is that clear?
All right, we'll do it.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like your mate. Where are you actually from, if you don't mind me asking?
Skalitz.
Never heard of it. I ain't been further than the back off me whole life. But I know this place inside and out.
What's life like here?
Better now that you and your pal have finally had a wash. Truth to tell, it used to be better. The war might be far away, but more and more young lads are going away to fight. But then there's a shortage of folk to do the work around here. and that's a big problem.
I'm sorry.
Well, can't be helped. Let's hope things get better.
Where can I find work around these parts?
First, you gotta carry them sacks for me, so don't bother looking anywhere else yet. But otherwise, you can find work anywhere. You just need to keep your eyes open and not be afraid to ask. Try Radovan the smith for one. He's a bit odd, but he'll pay decently for a helping hand. Come to mention it, he's sat just round the corner there, if you want to ask him about it. And that fella next to him is Miller Grazel. He needs helpers now and then. But watch out for him. You know what they say about Millers.
I've heard things, all right.
Well then, be careful.
Where do you want the sacks moved to?
To the pantry. That's the second door inside there. But I'd split the work with your pal if I was you. So you don't do yourself a mischief. It's his debt too, ain't it?
Where's the pantry?
Second door inside the tavern. You can't miss it.
Is this the only tavern here?
In Troskovitz it is.
You must be doing pretty well then, eh?
I'd be doing a lot better if everyone paid their bills.
I heard some talk about some wedding being planned here.
Ah, nobody's talking about nothing else. Young Lord Samin is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Troskovitz bailiff. And it's going to be a grand affair. When rich folks get married, that's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets hitched to a bathouse wench.
Will Lord von Berghoff be at the wedding?
How should I know what his lordship's plans are? But most likely he will be. Samin is his vassal.
Who is this Samin?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samin. The fort and the village belong to him. Old Jan Samin is the head of the family. And his son's called Olda. And it's him who's getting itched. There used to be a rich family. Their glory's faded a bit, but they still have some clout.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samin, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other in showing off their wealth.
Could I get to the wedding somehow?
I don't know about that, lad. It's for invited guests only.
It seems that's really our only chance.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
If you want to find out more, there's a couple of invited guests having an ale over there. Young Svaja there. He's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at heart.
Is that all you know about the wedding?
What else is there to know? I'm just looking forward to being a guest and having someone serve me for a change.
I'll go and discuss it with my friend then.
And careful with them sacks. I don't want you ripping them or anything like that. And what can I get for you?
There'd have to be two of us. I couldn't manage a pig that size on my own.
I talked to that woman from the pond.
I noticed. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Berghoff is about to leave the castle.
Sacra! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down. Let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Lord Semin, a nobleman, is marrying the local bailiff's daughter. It's the talk of the region. It's invitation only, of course. But maybe we could wangle our way in somehow.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like von Berghoff will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
Well, I don't exactly have a plan, actually.
God's hat, do I have to do all the thinking for us? I suppose we could stand at the side of the road and wait for von Berghoff to pass.
I'd say the wedding's a much better bet.
We'll ask the locals and see.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Hey, innkeeper, that beer.
Do you have any idea what you look like?
Well, all right. I may not look much like a noble, but my blood's still blue. People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar, as if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Ugh!
Hey, where's that?
Look, we're not in any position to pick and choose. So if you want to somehow scrape your way out of this mess, you better forget your airs and graces and make some effort. A bit of honest work won't kill you.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
So, which do I belong to?
Good question. Before I'd have said you were a peasant, but it turned out that you're a noble's bastard. And you're pretty handy with a sword. And you've even been in a monastery.
I'd rather forget about that.
You're a bit of everything. But if you get your hands dirty with labour, it wouldn't be such an offence against divine order as in my case. Pure blood, noble status and that. In short, be so kind as to get to work. I promise I'll make it up to you.
Are you really not going to help me? It's just a couple of sacks.
Come now, Henry. What did I tell you about Bellatoris and the natural order of the world? I simply cannot carry sacks.
We don't have time for your spoilt brat manners now. Either we get to work, or we'll be stuck here forever.
Manners? I'll put manners on you. It's not long since I had to drag one sack through the night, and if I hadn't, that sack wouldn't be here now. So I think I've done my fair share. I mean it, Henry. Stop trying to push me.
Suit yourself, then. So, you simply aren't going to work?
That is a warrior's lot, Henry. Conserving his strength till the next battle comes along.
Right. I'll get to work. Alone.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll scratch your back later.
How? By giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
How generous of you, Lord Capon.
I know, my dear Henry, such is my nature.
Save? What?
There'd have to be two of us. I couldn't manage it this time.
Where is that bloody innkeeper? Oof! That isn't half heavy. Oh.
God grant you health.
An ale, as usual.
That's ill?
Yeah.
Placed by the Jehovka Street.
What then? Has the water sprite been up to his mischief again? Who was it?
Some vagabond.
God rest his soul.
And get this. Miller Buster says he was in the water
So what?
Listen to
Somebody
this.
did him in and chucked him into the water.
But the river there has a powerful current.
Non qui negat.
The dead man is
that
floating
supposed to
down
be
the
Latin?
river.
Look out!
Oh, with you.
Without anyone
know what
noticing.
it means?
Exactly.
No.
That's not
And I
all.
doubt you do either.
Dead man.
The burden
gold
of proof
chain
is on the one who declares.
You believe it? Someone bumped him off.
Oh, me, what? Something devilish was involved. You don't see something like that every day.
What did you say?
Say it again. It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trusky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smartass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
But calm down, both of you.
I'm perfectly calm. It's your chum here who's ranting and raving.
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Oh, you want to come to the wedding, do you? Huh. I'll give you a piece of advice, pal. If you can make yourself useful for the blacksmith or the miller, you'll get to the wedding. You'll see the glorious occasion, at least from a distance. And you can stop spouting your pathetic lies.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me. You and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Didn't you hear? Apologize to him.
Oh no! Reinforcements! I'm so scared! Take your numbskull friend and get out of our village. Right now.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me. Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
You whoreson!
Zeig, was du drauf hast.
Shame on you! Take that fucker out, damn it! Hey, rip your arms open!
This is unbelievable! Slice him up!
I'll be... Get him! Come on, then! What are you doing?
Nice hit!
These days, no one's ever really safe. Hey, get him!
We're gonna gut you!
I'm all yours! You'll never beat me! You swine! This is unbelievable! Wanker!
Nice try!
Filthy bird! Slice him up! Come on, then!
Ain't had enough yet.
Fuck you!
Let him have it!
These days... You want to try me?
This has been going on too long. Slice him up!
To the side with him! Show your stuff!
Take it! Fucker out, damn it!
Ich schlage dir die Fresse ein.
You're no match for us, fucker!
Corva! I'm wounded! Here! Slice him up!
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly. Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse.
What?
You behave like a spoilt brat. How dare you speak... You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle. But no, not his lordship.
You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess.
Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it? Fuck off!
Shut up! Or you'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm the only one of us with any sense. I'm not the one who acts like a spoiled child.
Spoiled child? You're in danger of crossing the line, Henry. Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that? Nothing to say, eh? You really are a simpleton. I don't understand how I could have failed to see it for so long. A stupid yokel who doesn't know the way of the world. Did you hear what I said, you yokel? I can't believe I ever bothered with you. My so-called protector, adjutant? You're a waste of space. It was me who had to save your life. You couldn't even keep an eye on your fucking mutt.
Oh, that's enough. This isn't getting us anywhere. I haven't said anything because there's no point arguing. It won't do us any good. I understand you're downcast after all that happened to us. And I understand you need to take it out on someone. I can take it. But we shouldn't forget we have a job to do. And do it we must. Together.
That's exactly what I'm doubting. Everything goes to shit when you're by my side.
You don't really mean that. Calm down.
I'm perfectly calm. That's it. My life went to shit from the first moment I met you. And I've only just realised it. You're like a ball and chain. And I'd have bagged that wild boar too if it weren't for you.
Well,
And none of the rest would have happened. I wouldn't have been showered in shit.
oh, come on, Capon.
Don't you cape on me. Not another word. I'll have to consider what to do next.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Oh, so Otto.
Hey! Go!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight. What are we gonna do?
You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Bergov at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
All right. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good-for-nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find mutt without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Hey, you! Aye.
You're in the right place. Over here. Hey, over here. Where are you?
He'll be the laughing stock of the... What'll it be this fine morning?
What's new around here?
Vostatek. Lord von Beregov's huntsman is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlak Pond. So if you know your way around the woods, you could go and offer him your help. I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. You could also stop by and see Old Mouth. He's the local storyteller. He could tell you all sorts of interesting things, but only if you bring him some liquor. Don't forget, I have some here to sell, if you want. I'm working on a little... practical joke myself. We have this little dispute with the Gelievites. You might be interested. And that's all I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. You having problems with the Gelievites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of the house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Gelievites right away.
All right. I'll help you.
Listen up, then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Geliov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is. The finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective, too. Now you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Olbram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh? That sounds like fun.
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
Well, I have to say, I expected this to be easier. You could have at least given me the paint.
Oh, ain't you a little princess? No guts, no glory. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught, or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Geliov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Takov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Gelievites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper arse-kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it he did. But then fucking Olbram came along, claiming it was the other way round, and that pasture belonged to Geliov.
Well, can't you all just reach some kind of agreement?
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Jellyevites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Oldbrum always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Jellyevites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can't just leave things like this.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down my father, but then...
Well, that's a tough nut to crack. Have you tried asking Lord von Burgov for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Oldbrum ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
Christ, what's the hold-up?
I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Prochek said you might know something.
Well, it's true. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days. But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away.
Well, I don't want it just for the sake of it. I need to use it against the Zhelyov lot.
So, Prochek and Oldbram are at it again. Blockheads, both of them. And the place was just getting really nice and quiet lately. Well, what the hell. Maybe if I help you out, they'll start trading punches sooner and get it all over with. Pay up, and I'll tell you the secret.
Thank you.
So, did you want to make a deal or not?
Wouldn't you tell a fellow blacksmith? My dad was a swordsmith, and I used to help him a lot.
But you didn't pay much attention, did you now? Otherwise, you'd know the recipe by now, and you wouldn't be asking me.
All right. Well, I'll manage without your help. I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last 2 hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter. But if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Go over to the anvil and let's get started.
What are you doing here?
What was that sound?
You've no business here. Good. And don't come back till you've learned your manners.
Get to it. I want to see how you'll fare.
Everything's...
The furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. Works better. But you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? It's the color of straw, which is what you want. You heated the whole thing up. Nicely done. Now you can go straight to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway.
Not as I can.
It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. it's a spark, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. That's the ring you want. Sparks. That's the stuff. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking. Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up. And by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same everywhere, if your forging's going to be even. The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. But don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace, take it out.
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it up. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working unevenly. The best thing to do is aim each strike next to the one before.
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right, here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
I'd like you to teach me something.
Yeah, all right. But it will cost you. What is this about? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them. There's a couple more things I'd like to ask about smithing.
Ask away.
Thanks.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I've heard you dye your own fabric.
I used to. I tried a few times, but I had to give it up. Troskovitz is on a hill, and there's not enough water for that. Why'd you ask?
I'd like to buy some pigment.
I see. Well, perhaps I could find some leftover black. If you have enough groschen, it's yours.
Ah, damn. That's more money than I thought.
Well, lad, a rare thing like that has a price. Take it or leave it.